Greeting, everyone! What happens when a royal family is pushed to its breaking point? Can once beloved members, adored by millions, fall so far from grace that redemption becomes impossible? Imagine the scandals, the betrayals, and the deep-seated family drama playing out in real time. But what if I told you this isn't just another television drama? This is the real-life story of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle couple who willingly walked away from the world they once belonged to. In today's video, we'll take a closer look at the increasingly strained relationship between Prince William, King Charles, and the couple who seem to have turned their backs on their royal roots. As William prepares for his future as king, will he take a firm stand and put an end to their influence over the monarchy? Or will the bonds of family, despite the scandals and betrayals, prevent him from severing ties completely? Stay tuned as we explore the rising tensions, the lasting damage that has been done, and what the future holds for Harry and Meghan. Can they ever return to the royal fold, or has their downfall already been set in stone? First, if you haven't subscribed yet, now is the perfect time. Hit that button and get ready for an in-depth look at one of the most talked about stories in the royal world. You won't want to miss this. As we look ahead to the future of the British monarchy, one major question remains: what will happen when Prince William becomes king? How will he manage the growing tensions surrounding Harry and Meghan, the couple who have not only distanced themselves from the royal family, but have also actively worked to challenge it? This is a defining moment that will shape the future of the monarchy. Will William, as king, follow in his father's footsteps, offering leniency? Or will he take a stronger stance, putting an end to the Sussexes' disruptive influence once and for all? The pressure is building, and the world is watching closely, eager to see how it all unfolds. Looking back, the monarchy has faced its fair share of crises, but none quite like this. The scandals, betrayals, and public humiliations have thrown the royal family into an unprecedented media storm. Harry and Meghan have propelled them into the spotlight, forcing them to respond to controversy after controversy. The question now is, will they navigate the storm ahead? Raise uncomfortable questions, Saul, while portraying themselves as victims of an institution they now claim to despise. Now, as Prince William prepares for his future role as king, the question arises, will he allow this to continue? Will he let the stain of their actions linger on the monarchy? Or will he, like his father, extend an olive branch to those who have done little but damage the royal family's reputation? There is no simple answer. Some argue that William, with his strong sense of duty and discipline, will choose to sever ties with Harry and Meghan completely. Others believe that, as family, they must find a way to mend these deep wounds. However, one thing remains certain: William's primary responsibility is to the crown. His choices will not only shape his personal relationship with his brother, but will also define the future of the monarchy itself. Now, let's consider the reality on the ground. While King Charles has shown patience, perhaps too much patience, with Harry and Meghan's ongoing controversies, William's reign is likely to take a different course. Imagine a future where there are no more self-pitying interviews, no more carefully orchestrated media spectacles designed to... Instead of a monarchy weakened by scandal, we could see a king who is resolute, who will not tolerate anything that threatens the stability of the crown. After all, William's entire life has been preparing him for this moment. But here's the twist: if Meghan and Harry's influence is so easily dismissed, why do they remain so relevant? Meghan's relentless efforts to stay in the spotlight using the media, aligning herself with celebrities, and continually positioning herself as a victim have become exhausting to watch. Her latest moves in Hollywood have only cemented her reputation as someone who lacks limits, boundaries, and, frankly, respect. Let's not forget the scandal when she was caught fabricating a story about donating a t-shirt to a fire survivor. The truth unraveled almost instantly. This isn't just about titles for Meghan, it's about power. And if she believes she can use Harry as a pawn to maneuver her way back into the royal fold, she is gravely mistaken. The monarchy does not function on emotion. It is built on duty, respect, and tradition values Meghan seems to have repeatedly disregarded. This happen? How did Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, considered the golden couple of the British royal family, fall so far from grace? A fairy tale marriage that once captivated the world has now become a saga of betrayal, controversy, and an unrelenting pursuit of fame. But the bigger question remains, what will Prince William do? Will he show mercy, or will he make it clear that protecting the monarchy comes before personal relationships, no matter the cost? The stakes couldn't be higher, and the very future of the royal family hangs in the balance. Will Harry and Meghan finally fade into irrelevance, or will they find one last way to manipulate events from behind the scenes? But enough about my perspective. What do you think? Will William take a hardline approach, or is there still hope for reconciliation? Share your thoughts in the comments below, because this is a debate that isn't going away anytime soon. The future of the monarchy may very well depend on it. Interviews, tell-all books, and media appearances each carefully orchestrated to paint themselves as victims while casting the royal family in a negative light. The downfall of Harry and Meghan didn't happen overnight, but the warning signs were there from the start. Their decision to step back from royal duties could have been a dignified, quiet transition. Instead, it became a global spectacle, fueled by public grievances and ongoing controversies. Every move they've made since leaving the royal family appears calculated to keep them in the headlines, often at the expense of those they left behind. What's truly astonishing is how they've turned against the very institution that granted them their status and influence. They have repeatedly portrayed themselves as victims of a rigid and oppressive system, claiming they faced racism and mistreatment. But let's pause for a moment. Do we really believe that the royal family, with its centuries-old traditions and global scrutiny, would allow such things to go unchecked? Or is it possible that Harry and Meghan are playing a calculated game, using the media to shape public opinion to their advantage? Take, for instance, their infamous Oprah interview sent shockwaves around the world, with explosive accusations of racism and mistreatment within the royal family. They positioned themselves as victims, seemingly besieged by an institution that refused to support them. But when examined closely, when we consider the actual history of the royal family's relationship with racism, has to wonder, were their claims entirely truthful, or were they merely a calculated attempt to shift blame and deflect from their own questionable choices? And then there's the media frenzy that followed. Meghan, in particular, appears to thrive in the spotlight. Whether it's a meticulously staged photo shoot or a carefully worded statement, she has consistently found ways to keep herself at the center of public discourse. Time and again, she has played the role of the victim while enjoying a life of luxury, private jets, and privileges that most people could only dream of. Does this truly reflect someone who is genuinely concerned about the struggles of ordinary people, or is it simply part of a larger narrative designed to maintain her influence? Then we have Harry, the beloved, down-to-earth prince who connected effortlessly with the public. Now he appears to be a man consumed by a mission to dismantle the very institution that shaped him. His actions raise the question, is he truly fighting for justice, or is he driven by resentment and a desire to justify the path he has chosen? Harry's relentless criticism of his family, his decision to publicly air private grievances, and his apparent disregard for the long-term consequences of his actions have only widened the divide. Does he truly believe that this path will lead to lasting happiness, or is he simply clinging to a fleeting sense of relevance in a world that is moving on without him? The repercussions of their actions extend beyond their personal disputes. The royal family, an institution that has spent generations building trust and maintaining stability, now faces growing scrutiny. Public perception of the monarchy has shifted, and for what? So Meghan can sell more books, so Harry can secure more media deals. The cost of their decisions is undeniable, and it's difficult to envision an outcome where this all ends on a positive note. But this is about more than just a couple making questionable choices. It's about the future of the monarchy itself. Can it endure the damage they have caused? Or will history remember them as the pair who cast a shadow over the institution they once belonged to? Now, I want to hear from you. What do you think? Can the monarchy recover, or has too much damage already been done? Let's continue the conversation in the comments below. As the controversy surrounding Harry and Meghan continues to unfold, an important question arises. Have their actions caused irreparable damage to the monarchy, or is there still a chance for redemption? This debate remains ongoing, and we invite you to share your opinions in the comments below. With the dust beginning to settle, the key issue now is whether the public both in the UK and the EU still desires their return. More crucially, should they even be given the opportunity to reintegrate into the royal family after everything that has transpired? To fully grasp the current landscape, let's take a closer look at public sentiment. In the UK, recent years have seen a clear stance from the British public regarding Harry and Meghan's potential return to royal duties. Surveys indicate that an overwhelming 60% of Britons oppose Harry resuming his royal responsibilities. Meanwhile, an astonishing 97% have expressed strong opposition to Meghan's presence in the country. This discussion is far from over, and as new developments emerge, perspectives may continue to evolve. Where do you stand on this issue? It is understandable why their departure from the royal family continues to provoke such strong reactions. Upon reflection, it becomes evident why public sentiment has shifted so dramatically. Rather than leaving quietly, Harry and Meghan made their exit in a highly publicized and controversial manner, openly discussing private family matters and making serious accusations. Their approach appeared to cast them as victims in what many perceive as a global spectacle. For many Britons, their actions represent a betrayal of the very institution that granted them their status. Choosing to step away is one thing. However, doing so in such a dramatic and contentious fashion is quite another. Furthermore, Meghan's conduct has often fueled criticism. She has been accused of portraying herself as a perpetual victim, whether through allegations of racism within the royal family or her apparent desire for media attention. To some, it appears she is more concerned with preserving her celebrity image than honoring the traditions and duties associated with royal life. But what about their reception in the United States? Surely Meghan and Harry might find a more favorable audience across the Atlantic. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex initially built their brand in the United States by capitalizing on their royal status and promoting their version of events. However, even in America, public sentiment appears to be shifting, with many growing weary of their actions. Meghan, in particular, may have anticipated a warm reception in Hollywood, expecting doors to open effortlessly. Yet, the reality has reportedly been far from what she had envisioned. Industry insiders have murmured about her being difficult to collaborate with, and there are even claims that she has been excluded from meetings with producers and director Shardley the glamorous lifestyle she may have aspired to. Prince Harry, too, seems to be facing challenges. While he has participated in charity work and launched various initiatives, public interest in their narrative appears to be waning. Both British and American media have been relentless in highlighting inconsistencies in their messaging. They advocate for privacy while simultaneously leveraging their royal connections to secure high-profile interviews, generate income, and sustain their public brand. Their presence in the media spotlight has only amplified the perception of hypocrisy, which has led to a significant shift in public opinion. Throughout history, royal families have faced scandals, yet none have unfolded quite like this. What sets this situation apart is the extent to which Harry and Meghan have actively involved the public. Traditionally, royals who chose to step away or distance themselves from the monarchy did so discreetly, maintaining a sense of dignity. In contrast, Harry and Meghan have displayed a notable disregard for the institution and those who once supported them, Rather than handling personal grievances privately, they have transformed them into a highly publicized spectacle, all while benefiting from the attention and notoriety it has brought them. This raises the question, is there a path to redemption for them? Can they regain public favor, or are they destined to fade into obscurity? Opinions remain divided. Some believe that with time, perceptions may soften, allowing them to reintegrate in some form. However, others argue that the damage they have inflicted runs too deep, and there is only so much the public will be willing to overlook. People are not oblivious. They recognize the ongoing media manipulation, the contradictions, and the apparent lack of accountability. The question remains, should Harry and Meghan be welcomed back into the royal family, or has the damage become irreparable? Will the public ever truly forgive them, or has their royal legacy been permanently tainted? I'd love to hear your thoughts, share your opinions below, and let's continue this discussion. Because, like it or not, this is no longer just about Harry and Meghan. It's about the future of the monarchy and how the institution chooses to navigate the controversy they have created. Now, let's turn our attention to Meghan Markle, a woman whose journey has seen her transition from a modern-day princess to a figure of global scrutiny in record time. Once celebrated as a refreshing new presence within the royal family, her trajectory has shifted dramatically. Initially, Meghan appeared to captivate audiences with her charisma and charm, seemingly unable to put a foot wrong. However, her story has since taken a sharp and uncertain turn, placing her on the brink of something far more precarious. Meghan initially appeared to bring a modern and progressive touch to the traditionally rigid world of royalty. However, as time passed, cracks in that image began to emerge. Her decision to step away from royal duties was only the beginning, but it was her actions after leaving that truly raised concerns. Meghan's transformation from a beloved duchess to one of the most polarizing figures in recent memory has been nothing short of astonishing. But the issue isn't merely a few missteps or poorly received career choices. It's the path she has deliberately taken. Time and again, she has attempted to position herself as a victim, but the public's patience has worn thin. Initially, there was sympathy after all. Who wouldn't be moved by a woman giving up a life of royal privilege to be with the man she loved? Yet, when Meghan began making serious accusations, alleging racism within the royal family, and casting herself and Harry as martyrs, the narrative started to unravel. Speaking out against mistreatment is one thing. Airing grievances in such a public and controversial manner is another. In doing so, Meghan seemed to overlook a crucial reality. What Meghan seems to have overlooked is that both the British public and much of the world have little tolerance for hypocrisy. She leveraged her royal title to secure lucrative deals, graced magazine covers, and then criticized the very media attention she actively sought. It is this kind of self-serving behavior that has led many to question her true intentions. Yet, despite her declining reputation, Meghan appears more determined than ever to remain in the public eye. However, this is no longer just about a string of missteps. It has evolved into something far more complex. Meghan has demonstrated an ability to manipulate the media and reshape her narrative to suit her needs. Her public presence is no longer merely about influence. It has become a strategic game of survival. And when someone like her has little left to lose, the situation takes on a far more precarious dimension. What makes this even more unsettling is her apparent determination to reclaim a position within the royal sphere. This is no longer simply a pursuit of fame, it is a matter of power. Meghan has shown time and again that she will go to great lengths to maintain her relevance, and the question remains, how far is she willing to go? Meghan's pursuit of relevance seems unwavering, even if it means leveraging her former royal connections for personal gain. She craves attention, wealth, and influence, and she has made it clear that nothing will stand in her way. This level of desperation can be dangerous, particularly for someone skilled in shaping public perception to her advantage. When comparing her situation to others who have attempted to leave the royal fold, one might think of Wallis Simpson, who sought a position of power but ultimately faded into obscurity, her dignity lost along the way. However, Meghan presents a far greater challenge. While Wallis withdrew from the public eye, Meghan's relentless pursuit of attention has ensured she remains at the center of discussions. The reality is, she is not disappearing anytime soon. Could Meghan find a way back into royal circles, using her title and connections as leverage? It's a troubling possibility, but not one that can be entirely dismissed. Her apparent fixation on maintaining a sense of royal status and the privileges that accompany it raises the question of whether she might attempt a dramatic return to Britain. Should that happen, the consequences for the monarchy could be significant. What do you think? Is Meghan destined to fade into irrelevance, or is she quietly orchestrating something far greater? Can the royal family afford to welcome her back? Or would it be wiser to keep her at a permanent distance? Share your thoughts below. I'm sure this is a topic that sparks strong opinions. As we conclude today's deep dive into the unraveling journey of Harry and Meghan, one thing is clear: their connection to the royal family is far from severed. However, whether they have any real future within the institution remains highly uncertain. The damage they have inflicted is undeniable, but the real question is, can anything be salvaged? The lingering question remains: can the monarchy recover from this turmoil? Will Harry and Meghan ever find their place again? Or are they destined to fade into irrelevance? Their actions have left the British public divided. Their Hollywood aspirations are steadily unraveling, and the royal family's patience appears to be wearing thin. Yet, as history has shown, anything is possible, especially when dealing with individuals who seem willing to push every boundary in their pursuit of attention and relevance. What do you think? Can Harry and Meghan ever be forgiven, or is their downfall inevitable? Will Prince William's reign mark a turning point in this ongoing saga? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear your perspective on the future of the royal family and the Sussex's place within it. And if you want to stay updated on all things royal, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, The King, for exclusive insights, breaking news, and deep dives into the monarchy's most pressing issues. Hit the bell notification so you never miss an update.